Welcome to another episode of Office Hours, the recap, where we go a little deeper into the discussion that we had in our Discord room over on chatbotbuilder.ai. Let's get started.
It's wild, isn't it, how AI has gone from like this futuristic concept to something we're all dealing with every day.
It really is. The pace of change is just mind-blowing. And I think whether you're someone who's building these AI tools or just starting to figure out how to use them, it's hard to keep up. It really is.
And that's exactly why I was so drawn to these office hours sessions. It's like a dedicated space, for the people who are actually in the trenches building and creating with AI. They're connecting, sharing what they're discovering, those aha moments, and also working through those inevitable roadblocks that pop up together.
Makes sense. It's a form of co-creation. And this deep dive we're doing today is based on one of these recent sessions. And let me tell you, it was a marathon. Like 9 hours of in-depth discussion, which shows you just how engaged and passionate these folks are.
9 hours. Wow.
Yeah, they covered a huge amount of ground. We're talking lead generation tactics, how to actually attract people who could benefit from AI solutions, then getting into the weeds of technical troubleshooting, and even stepping back to look at the bigger picture of AI development platforms, kind of like, where is this all heading?
And you're right, the range of topics they covered was fascinating. We heard about turning birthday message automations into full-blown email marketing strategies. There were stories about why AI tools can suddenly just stop working and how to fix them. And then there was this whole discussion about the emergence of AI website builders.
Oh yeah, those are getting a lot of buzz.
I mean, it's pretty incredible. You can practically build a website with AI now.
Yeah, which leads to some interesting discussions, as you can imagine.
For sure. But before we get to that, I think what really struck me was how these creators are using AI to solve real problems, like actual business challenges. Denise was talking about how she's been reaching out to local businesses, like doctors' offices, offering her AI service.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was so interesting to hear about the different reactions she got. Some were immediately on board.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this could really help my practice.
Yeah.
But others were, more hesitant.
Yeah, there's definitely still some skepticism out there.
Which makes sense, right? It's new technology. It's a learning curve. But what this highlights is that even with the most cutting-edge AI, being able to connect with people, explain the value in a way that resonates, that's still absolutely crucial.
Absolutely. The human element is still so vital. We're not at a point where AI can just handle everything on its own.
Right. And speaking of the human element, Denise shared this really smart system she's using. She uses Google Sheets to instantly capture contact information when someone expresses interest. And then she's planning to integrate a calendar so people can book appointments right then and there.
Oh, I like that. Streamlining that process.
Yeah, it's all about converting those leads.
Yeah.
Making it as easy as possible.
But of course, as with any technology, there are going to be glitches. And Denise shared this story about how her bot just stopped responding, like it was collecting user info just fine, and then poof, radio silence.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, and this is where that meticulous troubleshooting comes in. Like really having to dig into the settings, the configurations, to figure out what's causing the issue. It can be a real detective process.
And sometimes those issues aren't even obvious, like technical errors. Remember Kim was talking about AI hallucinations, specifically when it comes to appointment scheduling.
Oh, right. Like the AI might say a time slot is booked when it's actually free.
Exactly.
Which can cause all sorts of chaos. Double bookings, missed appointments, nightmare.
Yeah, and it just highlights how we can't blindly trust AI. We have to build in those safeguards, those logic checks, like confirming actual availability before letting the AI run wild. It's about strategically using AI's power, but within a structured process. Does that make sense?
Totally. It's like giving it the reins, but still holding on to some control. Now, shifting gears a bit, we can't ignore this whole trend of AI-powered website builders. The fact that anyone can create a functional website so quickly now is pretty remarkable.
It is. It's almost like democratizing web development in a way.
Yeah, the barrier to entry has definitely gotten a lot lower.
But, and this is a big but, they were discussing how there's this crucial distinction between the front-end ease of use and the back-end complexity. Just because you can drag and drop your way to a nice-looking website doesn't mean you can automatically connect it to your CRM, set up your email marketing funnels, or build out those complex workflows.
Exactly. And that's where the real demand for expertise comes in, understanding how to connect all these different platforms, implement the automation, and actually solve those intricate business problems. That requires a whole other level of skill.
For sure. I mean, remember they were even talking about tools like N8N, which is for like serious advanced integrations. It just shows you how much potential there is for building these really sophisticated AI setups.
Yeah, and the demand for people who understand that side of things is only going to grow, so there's opportunity there for sure.
Absolutely. Now, I think it was really cool to see how these creators collaborate in real time. Kim actually did a live demo of how to customize the web chat widget in Chatbot Builder.
Oh, yeah, that was helpful.
It wasn't just theory. She was showing step by step, choosing templates, setting up the welcome message, authorizing the website domains.
You're nitty-gritty.
Exactly. And she explained the difference between the widget code, which is CSS, and the external launcher code, which, might sound technical.
It is a bit.
But it's super important if you want to embed chatbots on your site. And the key takeaway there is that KTT10 script. That's what makes the magic happen. It allows the chat widget to appear on those external pages. So if you're using Wix, WordPress, whatever, that script is your friend.
It's like the bridge connecting the chat to your site.
Yeah, perfect analogy. And then there was Blaine's demo of his RSVP page. He built it with code and embedded a Google form, which, sounds pretty straightforward.
Yeah, in theory.
But he actually ran into a snag with QR code scanning on Android devices. And the whole group just jumped in, troubleshooting together, throwing out ideas. It was a real two heads are better than one moment.
Yeah, that collaborative problem solving was great to see. And it highlights the bigger theme here, which is strategic planning. They kept coming back to the idea of beginning with the end in mind, meaning you need to map out that whole customer journey, how someone interacts with your AI tool before you even start building.
Which makes total sense. Don't get caught up in the bells and whistles before you know what problem you're actually solving, right?
Exactly. And it even extends to how you present these AI solutions. There was a good discussion about those quick demo versions you might create for potential clients.
Yeah, like pre-built examples versus building something live. Pros and cons to both approaches.
Definitely. And I think it was Joe Fair who made this interesting observation about how Ryan does his demos on his phone, like on the fly, which is impressive. It shows how easy the tool is to use, but it might also inadvertently downplay the complexity of the back-end setup and therefore the value of the expertise involved.
Right. It's a delicate balance. You want to make it seem easy to use, but not so easy that people think, oh, I could just do this myself.
Exactly. Now, we can't forget about templates. Kim walked everyone through her birthday club template. It's a packaged up set of message sequences and functions within Chatbot Builder. But the key point was that users still need to connect their own accounts, like their own Google Sheets for data storage.
Like a framework, right? A solid starting point.
Exactly. And Ryan actually released his 2025 default flows template for free. It includes different examples of how to position a web chat on a website. Super valuable resource for the community. Oh, and he made sure to remind everyone to update the placeholder IDs in the template. Little detail, but crucial.
Yeah, those little details can make a huge difference. Now, they also got into content creation, which I think is so relevant for anyone in this space. STA was sharing his strategy of creating these short, laser-focused tutorial videos and then linking those to longer, more detailed explanations. Really smart approach.
Yeah, caters to different learning styles. And Asta had some great insights on leveraging social media, especially LinkedIn. He was talking about building a personal brand, being consistent, taking those small steps to overcome procrastination.
I like that. Small steps.
It's less daunting that way. Oh, and they came up with this cool same video idea where multiple creators make their own version of a tutorial on the same topic.
Oh, yeah. Reach a wider audience that way.
Exactly. Different styles, different perspectives. And of course, they emphasize the importance of those calls to action in videos. Directing people to paid templates, premium services. If you want to monetize your skills, you got to tell people how they can support you.
Right. Makes sense. Now, to bring things back down to earth a little, Charles was talking about some technical challenges he'd faced, like integrating landing pages with web chat widgets. He was having issues with images loading, making sure the design looked good on different screen sizes, that whole responsive design thing, and then dealing with CSS conflicts.
Yeah, those are common web dev headaches. But what I found helpful was hearing how he troubleshoots those problems. Very systematic approach.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even experienced builders run into these roadblocks. That's all part of the process. And he gave some really solid advice about staying organized with your code and backing things up regularly.
Which is just good practice, period, whether it's AI related or any kind of software development. So taking a step back and looking at all these different conversations, what really shines through is the incredible value of this collaborative environment. These office hours aren't just about asking questions and getting answers. They're creating a space for shared learning, problem solving, and hearing those diverse perspectives.
Absolutely. You see people helping each other debug code, sharing tips on client interactions, even giving away their own templates and code snippets. It's real community support.
And it's not just about the technical stuff either. They're also diving into business strategy, marketing, pricing, managing client expectations. It's a very well-rounded approach to this whole AI ecosystem.
So for you, the listener, the key takeaway here is the power of collaboration in the AI space. These co-creation sessions give us a glimpse into the real-world challenges and solutions that people at the forefront of AI are encountering.
Exactly. And we're seeing that while AI tools are becoming more accessible, human expertise is still essential. That strategic thinking, problem solving, and as we've heard a lot about today, that collaboration, it's all part of the equation.
Right. So wrapping up this deep dive, the main theme that resonates is the impact of collaborative learning. These office hours are a great example of how people can come together, share their experiences, support each other, and ultimately drive innovation forward.
And as AI keeps evolving, these shared learning experiences are going to be crucial.
Absolutely. So here's something to think about. How can you find or even create similar opportunities for yourself in your own field, your own areas of interest, especially in something as fast-paced as AI? Maybe it's joining online communities, connecting with peers, starting your own study group. The power of shared learning is undeniable.
Couldn't agree more. The AI journey is just getting started, and these types of collaborative experiences are going to play a vital role in shaping its future.
That wraps up another discussion on the office hours recap. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And as always, come on over and join us in the Discord room every week live at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. See you next week.